There is a theory in the eBay dropshipping community that if you're going to use a software to run your dropshipping store, your account is going to get flagged, and therefore you have to use something that is called a non-API software in order to run your store safely. But what are flagged accounts, and is it really that software can cause you getting flagged, or is it something else? Today I want to break this myth and prove to you, and I brought proofs with me, that using a software to manage your dropshipping store is completely safe. It all starts with this email. When you're dropshipping on eBay and you use other websites for product sourcing, you are violating the eBay dropshipping policy, and then eBay sends you this email, which people believe that cause you to lose visibility on eBay, and therefore they say that your account get flagged. And the way that flagged accounts look like is, as you can see from the impressions of this account and the page views, and this is a real screenshot. You're going to see the Facebook post in a minute. As you can see, the impressions on eBay, the visibility drops down. And somehow people relate it to using a software. But some other how I convinced, by working with a person that I interviewed with, a guy called Walter, that you're going to watch the interview in a few minutes, so you could see exactly what I told him to do. But by working with him, I was able to revert the process. And the thing is that we didn't even speak about using a software or not using a software. That was done all using a software and using guidelines on how to get your account unflagged by maintaining something that is far more important than whether you're using an API or a non-API software. But before I'm talking about what it is that you need to maintain, I just want to give you a couple of points about the difference between API and non-API softwares. API softwares use a developer connection to eBay in order to take actions in your account. So DSM Tool, as a developer, applied to eBay. We actually went through a review process and an approval from eBay. We are now called an eBay compatible app, and therefore you're able to connect your DSM Tool to your store as if you are installing an app on your phone. And this is what you do. This is what we use the API for. Whereas non-API softwares are not approved by eBay. They're limited in functionality because there are things that you can do with API and that you cannot do with non-API situation. They require a remote computer or your computer to be turned on 24/7 because they don't use a developer connection. They use your computer in order to update the price and the stock of the products, and therefore it has much higher fault tolerance, meaning that they can crash, things can happen with them, far more issues can come up from them. And software companies, other software companies are charging more from you in order to give you a product that is less good for you when it comes to non-API software. So what is it that really causes accounts to get flagged? It is one thing and one thing only: relevancy. Keeping your account or keeping your store relevant and giving an eBay incentive to continue promoting your listings is the only way to get eBay do that. eBay has a smart algorithm, and when you don't incentivize that smart algorithm to give you traffic, it just stops giving you traffic. And this is what happens to a lot of people. And they happen to also use a software but manage their account incorrectly, and therefore they think that it might be related to the software that they're using. Whether you think that your account got flagged, or maybe you don't even have an account and you're just considering starting to dropship on eBay, I want to give you the same tips that I gave Walter in order to help you as well avoid getting flagged on eBay. And before we're jumping to the interview that I've done with Walter, I just want to show you his real journey. His journey started in October 2020 when he said that he, for the first time, listed something and had a sale within 24 hours. He had a wonderful time. He started dropshipping. It was great. And then by December 2020, sorry about that, look what he wrote. I just had the first day over $100 in sales and about 15% profit margin. He had great time. He just started, and within 2 months, he already started seeing some nice profits and his business started growing. And then look what happens in February 3rd. February 3rd, he's asking, have I been flagged? I'm pretty sure I have been. And you can see that is the exact screenshot that I shared with you before. And then we had the session, exactly the session that you're going to hear in a second. I mean, it's part of that session. And just a little bit after that, he wrote that he decided to take the DSM Tool training program, and his sales took off. Let me show you that, where he writes that. I have had 4 sales in the last 3 days, and only one, and one of those sales was with 3 items. The program works. And the reason that I'm sharing with you this and that the program works is because I think that if you do follow the right methodology, then there is no reason for your store to become irrelevant. And if you put the effort in your business, there is no reason for you to get flagged. And it definitely has nothing to do with either an API or a non-API software. So I hope that you're ready for it. Let's jump to the interview. I hope that this would be valuable for you. And when you finish watching it, don't forget to leave a comment below. Tell me, were you using a non-API software, or are you still believing in that theory? Let's open a discussion about it in the comments. Enjoy the interview. So you've been, okay, so the conspiracy around the eBay dropshipping industry is that if you use a software, for example, or some people say if you use a specific software, some people say if you use specific websites to source products from, then the violation of the eBay dropshipping policy would cause you to something like, there is something that is definitely official by eBay, which is that when you use the dropshipping arbitrage, dropshipping from marketplaces methodology, then you get an email that says, hey, you won't be able to become a top-rated seller on eBay as long as you practice this type of business method. But this is definitely something that is known. And what they say is that you will, because you cannot reach the top-rated seller ranking, then you would have reduced visibility in comparison to sellers that are top-rated sellers on eBay. And so that is 100%, and to some extent that means that we're limited with the visibility that we can reach on eBay if we use this business model. On the other hand, if we generate enough visibility and enough sales, then unlike sellers that can reach the top-rated seller ranking, we don't take the risk by buying an inventory, which is wonderful for us. And the second thing that
so maybe I have a misconception, because my understanding was that, and I forget what the letters, but I think it's an MC011 violation that gets your account suspended. And that's what I thought would happen if eBay finds that you're doing an AliExpress, or that's not true.
So
I just
let me
learned
organize the points for you, right? And then we're going to connect to your personal story. Then so this is official. When you start doing dropshipping, there is no question about it. You're going to get an email that says you are not following the best practices of eBay, and you're violating the dropshipping policy. And for that reason, you're not going to be able to become a top-rated seller. Now, the conspiracy behind it that dropshippers have is that since the middle of 2018, a lot of people started experiencing a glitch. It's kind of a glitch or a drop in visibility on eBay, which means that they got less traffic, right? From a specific feature on eBay that is called the promoted listings feature. And one of the theories was that because you're being flagged for dropshipping, you are being also flagged on the promoted listings, and eBay will not promote your listings, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
I personally believe that that might be true. I even wrote it in an article that is ranked number 1 on Google today when you look for the eBay dropshipping policy explanation. And then I say there, these are the risks that you're taking when you start dropshipping. You won't be able to become top-rated seller, and you might not be able to use the promoted listings feature. Nobody understands really what it is, but people are reporting this. And then I met your case, and your case was super unique because you've been using a supplier that is not violating the dropshipping policy on eBay, that is called CJ Dropshipping, and
Mm-hmm. My
one
listing
day
still went down. Yeah.
you published a post on a Facebook group that said, am I flagged? And you see the promoted listings showing that your traffic dropped. Is that correct?
That's right. And it happened right after they switched me over from PayPal to managed payments. And I thought when they switched me over, maybe they caught something else in my account and I got flagged. And I couldn't understand it because I've never, ever, ever received an email from eBay about any sort of violation. Never. I've never been on eBay's bad list, not even questioned about it.
What happened at the same time in your personal life? You don't have to go into details. I'm asking, did something happen in your personal life? Yes or no? How did it affect your business? You don't have to go into details what happened. How
Yeah,
did it affect what you do in your business?
it did. So it did shortly after that. And so what's happened is I haven't listed for probably a month and a half. What's happened is now these are not promoted listings. These are just my regular views. I used to get around 100,000 impressions a day, or 30 days. Now I'm down to about 50,000. I'm down to about half of that. And
Mhm.
my sales have gone from about 25 to 30 to about half of that, about 13 to 15 a month. But I think that's more related in terms of me not listing. The interesting thing was what happened with the promoted listings was right after the managed payments. So it's been kind of like a dual, excuse me, it's been like a dual sort of thing that I'm looking at. My regular listings and my promoted listings. The regular listings, I'm pretty sure it's because I'm not listing every day.
I remember you one day posting another post on Facebook saying something like, I'm getting unflagged, or I start seeing more traffic in my promoted listings. Maybe not the same as before, but suddenly the promoted listings started working. And I want to ask you, what caused the promoted listings to start working again?
It did. So when my promoted listings went down, I thought, well, what's going on, right? Am I flagged? And so what I did was I went back and I decided to start listing every day again. So for a while there at the end of January, I did list every day, like 4 or 5 days in a row, and I did see my promoted listings start to go up. But they've pretty much held there. They've gone down a little bit, but they never went back to close to what they were before. And
All right.
almost every single one of my 100 listings has a promoted listing. Not
How
all of
much
them, but most of them do.
how much research did you put in order to choose which are the products that you're going to promote and which are the products that you were listing in those days? Did you just go like and did bulk listings of whatever products I find that I think that has some, or did you really invest into choosing which products you're going to promote in in order for the promoted listings to traffic to come back?
So when I list something, I do all the research I can on it before I list it to try to make sure that it's got a very good chance of selling. And then from there, what I do is I just take a 1% promotion and I add that into the fees, whatever you want to call it, to figure out what my profit should.
You've been
I'm
muted.
sorry. So I forgot to put my phone on mute. So, but from there, so I pretty much just add in a 1% promotion fee, and I'll use promoted listings. So maybe I'm not using that correctly either, and maybe that's why.
It's possible. And yet I want to bring up a theory and tell me how you feel about my theory. I say that when you get flagged on eBay, the only implication that happens to your store is that you will not be able to rank as a top rated seller on eBay. And that might have some implications on general visibility of your store. But when it comes to promoted listings, what happened to most of the people that were using promoted listings is that a lot of them were using a methodology that is not based on doing proper market research, and they were not optimizing their stores, and they were not continuously listing products. And then at some point they became lazy because they became lazy, and they stopped putting the effort in the store. What happened to you because of personal reasons, not because you became lazy. And then what happened is that their products have just become outdated, unattractive. Look, when you source products, when you do product sourcing, not with the dropshipping arbitrage methodology, then you source those products for a wholesale price, a much lower price that can sustain your profitability for a long time. But when you use a business model like ours, in which you can change your entire inventory in the store every day, whenever you want, then the game that you're playing is a game of small margins, and in which you have to be up to date at all times. And if you're not active all the time, listing new hot products, the hottest trends, you talked about seasonality, and um, uh, and and making sure that you optimize your products, maybe removing products that are underperforming, then generally your store is more attractive. And actually, the promoted listings engine of eBay is an AI-based engine. It's not about flagging you, it's about checking how attractive is your store. The promoted listings, the way it works is that when you say to promoted listings, when you set up promoted to a listing, a promotion, you say, I'm willing to pay a percentage of my sale for promoting that listing. And then eBay calculates on their side if that is worth for them to show you on the first place in the first search results of on search results on eBay as a
Mm-hmm.
promotion. And if your listing is not attractive, if the performance of that listing is not really good, the price is good, the listing is good, you have good conversion rates for that listing, which for high conversion rates in your store, you need to continuously optimize your store. Then you're just not as attractive as other sellers on eBay, and they would get the promotion. You're fighting over those promotions with other sellers. So you have to continuously continue the fight on the traffic. Otherwise, you will not get it. How does it make
I think that's a
you?
very, I think that's a very good theory. And one other thing I didn't mention earlier about your course was I didn't realize, and it kind of hit me kind of hard when you said you continually have to look at your store and take out the items that aren't selling. Out of my 100 listings, I probably have 30 or 40 items that I've listed that have never sold, not one item. And they've been there for maybe 3 months, some of them 6 months, maybe. So why do I have them in there? So I think part of my strategy over the next week is going to be taking, looking at all my listings, using, because I use Zeek Analytics, taking a look at them and saying, okay, are these products even relevant anymore? And if they're not, let's get them out of the store and let's add some hotter products in there. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with my promoted listings.
I mean, think about it. If eBay need to calculate whether it's an AI that needs to calculate
Right.
if it worth or does it worth, does it not worth to promote a product that you're now promoting, but you didn't sell this product in 3 months. What is the chance that it will be attractive? And not only that, what if they don't only, we don't know, it's all speculation because there is no official
Right.
data about it. So what if the fact that you have that product being promoted is affecting some more general rank, your store rank, for example, for promoted listings, and then in the store rank you went down, and then you will just never get the traffic. And I think that this is what happens to people that are being flagged. They're just becoming
I think
unattractive.
that's entirely possible because you have to take a look at eBay side of it too. If you're not working on your store every day, if you're not listing, if you're not, at least modifying your items and optimizing them, then they've got to look at it in the case that, okay, well, this store isn't really serious about it. Here's a store that's doing everything every day. They are serious. let's give them the more listings and or more rankings, and that absolutely makes sense.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing this information like with me and with whoever would.
Well, thank you, Kafir. I'm glad we were able finally to get together.
Yeah, totally.